Well, here we are with another edition of Sea Devil Sessions University Transfer. I am your host, Lucinda McNamara, the Dean of University Transfer and Partnerships, and I am joined by the one and only Kathie Lee. Kathie.
Hey, it's great to be back.
It is great, but I gotta tell you, it's March 1st. Next week, we come back on Monday. Really, I know the audiences are waiting in the wings to hear the podcast, but yet, who's not gonna be here?
Students and faculty.
That's right. Our target audience is not gonna be here.
But our podcast will be waiting.
Yes.
Be sitting there.
It'll be available.
Yes.
They can listen to it from the beaches of Florida or
That's
wherever
right.
they are,
Yes.
enjoying themselves.
They can catch up on all the episodes on their road trip to wherever they're going for spring break.
That is an excellent idea. Oh my gosh, I'm so envious at this point. We're just going to have to stop it here because I'm going to start crying. You don't see the tears that are falling out of my eyes right now as I think about spring break and how I don't have one anymore. It's terrible. Well, today's faculty guest is Mr. Cable Hardin, and Cable is the program director for what is currently the advertising and graphic design program, but will now be called
Graphic design.
just graphic design. Streamline it.
Yes.
Make it easy.
That's right.
Not a mouthful.
Exactly. Shouldn't have to explain that too much.
No,
What is a graphic design program? Should be much easier now.
I hope so. We'll have to see. But little known fact, Cable Hardin has worked here, or he's actually worked in education for 24 years, but he did get his start here at Cape Fear with Frank Carter, whose name has come up many times on this podcast. I think at some point we're going to have Frank Carter on as a guest. But yeah, so he's been teaching for a long time, even though he's been here. I think this is his third year at Cape Fear.
Yes.
So very excited. We're going to go on to Cable Hardin in the studio. Cable Hardin, thank you.
Hey,
Having you in the studio today.
you're welcome. It's great to be here.
Yes, this is a new venture here.
It is. Let me ask you a question. Is
Yeah.
it advertising and graphic design? Is it just graphic design? Do we know what it is?
This is the right question and the right time to ask. We do know what it is. From 2021 in the fall, when the program first started, it was officially called Advertising and Graphic Design. However, due to changes at the state level from statewide voting amongst all similar programs, as of fall 2024, the curriculum program will be known as simply Graphic Design.
Ooh la
Ooh.
la.
So, and that's the first that we're hearing about it right now.
Right.
Hmm.
What does that mean for the advertising?
Well, you make a sign, you make a thing. How does it get used? Advertising and marketing, although there's no courses in formal theories of advertising. In graphic design processes, we work that into what we're teaching and what students are learning to do by osmosis or just by the way that we can apply processes. But it's easier to say.
Yes, much easier. I was always getting those acronyms backwards.
I think this would be a good moment in time to actually say that Cable Hardin is the program director for what will now be known as the graphic design program.
Yes.
But what has happened to advertising?
Advertising it's always been integrated into the curriculum, into the discipline. It's very hard, practically, to apply graphic design without advertising. But it's just easier to type, easier to say. We've got one less letter in the abbreviation for the curriculum
Right.
program now.
Less clunky,
Yes.
Yeah.
streamlined.
It is.
Yeah, nothing advertising can kind of be a concept as much as it can be a visual.
Well, now that I think more programs are expanding, graphic design would be a very wise, and it is common in other schools and industry-wide to combine those two disciplines of graphic design. You make the stuff, you figure out what works as a designer, and then the other side of that is how to apply it industry-wise in terms of marketing and advertising.
Yes.
They are not necessarily the same.
Right.
Okay. Cable, inquiring minds would like to know, where are you from originally and what brought you to the Cape Fear region?
Oh, sure. So originally, I always respond with, East Coast. We moved around a little bit, Tennessee, Maryland, Virginia, Ohio. My family is here in Southport and Wilmington and has been since the mid-1990s. My ancestors are from Virginia and North Carolina and have been for quite some time. So, being here is the right place for us. And it has been for a while because I started teaching here at Cape Fear.
Little known fact.
I started with this program in just recently, 2021, but my first university and college classes were taught here in the year 2000.
In the year 2000.
Wow.
Right. So, started here, and then many, many years later, I came back.
That is
Finally,
crazy.
when we got programs like advertising and graphic design.
Some would say you have come home, Cable.
Have a boomerang.
A little boomerang. We're gone for a while, but it's a good place to come back.
Absolutely. If you got to go out and wander back, this is the place to be.
There was some wandering.
Yes.
Sure.
Now that you've explained to us about the separation between advertising and graphic design, what is your definition of graphic design and what drew you to study it?
So graphic design, it's visual communication, symbols, logos, letters. My formal background is in film production.
Yes.
Which is also visual communication. You want to control that image just like graphic designers. But my experience with graphic design has been through osmosis, getting started with film and animation and fine arts, teaching since 2006, 2007 in research institution in the upper Midwest, working alongside a lot of traditional graphic designers. And they learned I could animate, was into movies, which upper Midwest, not a lot going on.
Right.
So I had a demand there for a while and was able to dovetail motion into graphic design, especially 5-8 years, the need for stuff that moves, flashes, makes noise, on the studios that we have in our pockets. That has really grown in demand and is no longer really inseparable from what used to be traditional graphic design, business cards and
Right.
this stuff, which is still, bread and butter, but now it's not out of the question for people studying graphic design to be aware of animation and motion graphics, video, which talk about advertising and marketing. That's the stuff that gets clicks and revenue is video. So
That is true.
And so, if I'm doing the math correctly, all told, it's about 24 years in education,
that's correct.
starting here at Cape Fear
Starting here at Cape Fear. Mm-hmm.
and then coming back to Roost. And so, in that 24 years, what have you noticed about the differences in the students since you began teaching?
Oh my goodness. Well, the students, they all know it. They all have the tools in their pockets.
Yeah, that is a good point.
I mean, hands down, we just had a group of 6th graders come in last Friday, and I was doing like, hey, we're going to look at AI in Photoshop. And they're like, yeah, we were just doing this. Like, we're making infographics.
Right.
And they know it. They have the buttons. They know like CapCut. It all does the same thing. The tools are there, and they all have it. We all have it. We can all do this. So that's the big difference, is that the students and everyone has access to this stuff, which, like when I went to film school,
yeah.
it was a 40-pound chunk
Yeah.
of metal that would cut into your shoulder, and that's what you pay all that money to get. But now you don't need that exactly. So the students, we all have access to that now, but we still need practice and collaboration to know how to use it
Right.
and be aware of those processes and talk about why they're making those decisions and why is that sign looking that way and why it works and why it doesn't work. That's what I noticed a lot.
They have the skills, but they don't have the nuances.
They got the reflexes.
Right.
They can push those buttons, but we're going to help them with their strategy and their,
And the thought behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's been my observation the past few years is like, man, there's no obstacle. So we don't have technical gears is not an obstacle anymore.
Okay. Well, Cable, we've come to that time where we're going to do the rapid fire questionnaire.
Affirmative.
How do you feel about it? You look very calm and relaxed.
I'm exhausted.
This is good. All right,
Okay.
we're going to jump right in. What is the most favorite thing about your job?
I'm thankful that graphic design and video and animation, they all mix up. So I do a bunch of stuff, not just the same thing. I get to make new avenues for students to explore. For example, I'm really excited about expanding the animation and illustration components of the program. Graphic designers, a lot of students here, they're interested in not just making stuff, but they like to draw, like to make weird stuff move, and they know that graphic design is the closest thing they can do to that and make a living. So there's no more starving artists. That's not a thing we have to do anymore, thank goodness.
All right, you heard it here. No more starving artist.
That's your next project for your graphic art students? There's no more starving artists, banners?
But they know that. That's why they chose it. It's an easy win.
Nice. So what is your least favorite thing about your job?
There's a lot of systems to get used to. We're pretty limber, and sometimes I have to unlearn some things. I'm learning some things today, but I figured a way to make it work.
Yeah, that's can be very time consuming.
It's part of what we do. It's what we chose.
All right. Yes, thank you. So, what sound or noise do you love?
Babies laughing.
Pure and innocent. I love it.
Yes. So what sound do you hate?
Toss up between crying, babies crying. Don't use this against me in tactical warfare. Chewing and
The loud
slurping.
chewer? Yes.
Yeah, that does something
That
to
is
me.
really
The
bad.
back of my neck.
if you've got the lip smacking chewer at the dining table with you, just takes the whole appetite away.
It happens.
Does anyone in your family have that?
You know, I mean, we've got a busy household, and there's eating that happens.
I'll
So
plead the fifth. I hear what you're saying.
sometimes you have to slurp all your food.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Well, what one piece of advice do you have for college students?
Make work. College students make work. If you want to be good at a thing, do the thing.
Right.
Show up to classes, do the work.
Don't just talk about it. Do it.
Yeah. Don't just say, I want to be good at it. Just shut up and do the work and build on those small successes. If any students are listening, just come to class and do the work.
Right. Love it.
Yeah. What are 2 college transfer options for someone interested in graphic design?
The 2 transfer options that I'm seeing, and it really varies, and I'll tell you why. Graphic design can be approached from many different areas. Like our program here is unique. It's different from the ones in the other parts of the state. It's different from ones all over the country. So you have options. You can pick and choose different graphic design majors from other schools. That would probably necessitate some discussions with the destination institutions, but also collaboration and dovetailing graphic design with other visual arts areas is a very common choice, because I find that graphic designers that have foundations in studio arts and other similar areas, it just makes their work better. And some institutions will have emphasis in graphic design, in visual communication, where you're majoring in visual arts or studio arts. That's where people are going if they choose to continue their education, is continue graphic design, or I'm just going to do studio arts and continue to build up my portfolio in graphic design in various ways.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Well, I like to make stuff, if you haven't figured it out. So we could build surfboards and
Okay, surfboard
paddleboards,
shaper.
shaper.
Okay.
I've discovered this great wood. It's called Polonia. It's super soft and strong, and it's grown in South Carolina. They grow it here, native to China, but it's amazing to work with. So if, for whatever, there was a big grid failure, it's just like, oh no, no more make stuff.
No more make
No more make stuff.
No more make stuff with electricity.
Right.
Just make stuff out of this great material, and it floats, and it's cool.
Okay.
And maybe people would buy it.
So in a lot of ways, though, it's still in the art field.
It
You're
is.
staying in
It's
the
still
art.
Yeah.
making
Okay.
stuff. They have great shapes, and you can do cool designs on it.
So not a far stretch.
No.
No.
That's all I got. I've tried other things, and it doesn't work.
So what profession would you not attempt?
I think construction, which I have attempted, it doesn't work.
But it's also artistic.
Yes.
Lifting heavy stuff and standing around.
It's a weightlifter. No.
Professional weightlifter, shot putter. That's probably not going to work out for
Okay.
me. Ditch digger.
But you're not building a house unless it's made out of Polonia wood.
Right.
Polonia wood house.
That's probably not structurally sound, but
You said it was strong.
I haven't tried them all.
Okay. No construction. All right.
No construction. I would maybe design something for other people to build, but leave it to the experts.
Okay. I see.
I've had my time.
What is your favorite film? Coming from a film background, I mean, I'm really
So-
curious here.
Yeah, my response to this question when I saw it was like, oh man, well, I love anything that I can watch uninterrupted.
At this stage in your life.
At this stage,
Right.
but anything we can get through inside of 3 days.
Okay. Wow.
And it's a great thing because it's an experience that I enjoy. It's not just the stuff on the screen.
But I'm going to ask for a specific, Cable. You got to give me a specific.
Well, I'm a Star Wars kid.
Oh, I see.
Episode 4, A New Hope, which is, it's a fun flick, and sometimes it gets played in our house, but maybe the first 20 minutes and then it's done.
Man.
Usually, whatever I get through is my favorite film.
My list is usually top with what did I not sleep through?
Oh, man. It's a tough one in our house. Character design, if there's bad character design, characters with big bug eyes causes trauma, which I, as an animator, I appreciate. It's like, oh, man,
But I feel like there are a lot of films that have that look these days.
that's true.
These
And
days.
it's not okay for some audiences.
Yeah.
Well, our last question is what advice would you give your 18-year-old self about your future?
Nike said it, but I'll say it again. You just have to just do it. So if we had what we have here at Cape Fear Community College, graphic design, animation, illustration, and it's a straightforward path like it is now, if we had that in 19...
We don't have to reveal
Right,
anything here.
1990s, it was not there. It was like art. What are you going to do with
Right.
that, kid?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you're right.
Your parents are shaking their head.
Do the things that you like and love, and now you can do these things. You can make art. You can make a living off of it. You can stay engaged. You can get jobs, for what that's worth, which is a pretty good thing.
Yes.
This is
just-
beautiful. That is a
just do
beautiful
it.
way to end your interview. It's a hopeful note for the artists of the world.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't even need hope. You just do the work.
Love it.
No more starving artists.
Cable, is there anything upcoming in the program that you'd like to plug?
So there's a new certificate to be started in fall of 2024 in animation and illustration, where students will get to bolster their portfolios with more animation and illustration work with their graphic design. And part of our tie-ins with that subdiscipline will be animation screenings, where we'll take short independent animations from all over the world and share it with the campus and community, which I have experience in with many years. And last year we did it with Pi Day Animation Festival.
Right.
Yes.
And it was a great
was cool.
success, and it's fun.
That's right.
Your students that are going to be in this new certificate program, they could do their own screenings at the end of the year.
Like an end of the year short film festival.
With student featured work.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we couldn't showcase the talent that comes from Cape Fear.
Yes, absolutely.
Cable, thank you so much.
You're
for
welcome.
coming
This
in
was
today
great.
and sharing your time with us and telling us a little bit
Yes.
about the graphic design program here at Cape Fear Community College.
Thanks very much. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kathie.
Okay, listener, I know there are some dates and deadlines always lingering out there for university transfer, and we have resident drama instructor Jack Landry on board to fill you in.
And now here's a list of important college dates, March 1st through March 15th. Friday, March 1st. The first mini session ends. Yay! Monday, March 4th. Grades are due from faculty for first mini classes by 3 p.m. Monday, March 4th through March 10th is spring break for students and faculty. Go have a break. Sunday, March 10th is the deadline for dropping a class with 100% refund in the second mini session. Monday, March 11th, the second mini session begins. Schedule adjustments are also beginning on this day. We call that the add drop for the second mini term. Tuesday, March 12th, is the last day to add classes or to add drop classes for the second mini term. Thursday, March 14th, is the last day for a 75% refund in most classes of the second mini term. Friday, March 15th, the grade of W begins for the second mini session. And those are the important college dates for March 1st through March 15th.
To fill us in on our upcoming academic and cultural events, we have CFCC Student Life Coordinator, our head women's basketball coach, and host of her own podcast for your ears only, the one and only Taylor Todd Williams. Taylor!
Hi, always happy to be here. We have some fun things coming up in March, starting with Friday, March 1st. March is the designated month for Women's History Month and Irish American Heritage Month. It is also the end of the first mini session and the opening of the scholarship cycle. Apply early, first come, first serve. Monday, March 4th through March 6th, spring break for students and faculty. Have a safe spring break. Wednesday, March 6th, college and career information session for Spanish-speaking families at the Burgaw campus in B110 from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Monday, March 11th, CFCC Music Faculty and Friends Concert at 7 p.m. in the Wilson Center main stage. Tuesday, March 12th, Quick Connect Advising Pop-Up at the North Campus at 9:15 a.m. in the NA Building atrium. UNC Asheville Info Visit at 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Union Station upper level next to PCJ. Wednesday, March 13th, UNCW Transfer Team Visit at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Union Station upper lobby. Quick Connect Advising Pop-Up at the downtown campus at 9:45 a.m. in the Union Station lobby. National Deaf History Month begins March 13th through April 13th. Thursday, March 14th, Speak Easy Open Mic, Music, Poems, and Stories, 12:30 p.m. Check the CFCC upcoming events calendar for the location.
Taylor, that's a lot of great stuff. And part of it, we're not even going to have students and faculty here.
Right.
What is going to happen that week?
A fun spring break with great weather.
A giant rager here on campus that everyone is going to miss out on, is what I'm thinking.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
We got to have something to keep us going. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just can't believe that we are halfway through the semester.
You're saying something there. That is a mouthful because
Yes.
you're right. It's unbelievable.
Time is flying and just gets faster.
Yeah, it's marching right across my face.
Is that pun intended?
Yes, absolutely. So, yes, we only have about half the semester left,
Yes.
which means just think of the minds and the education that's going on here right now. We are really just
That's right. I guess we could say that the spring semester is coming to a close before much longer, and intent to graduate, it should be on those minds.
right. Think about filing for intent to graduate. I know there's a deadline for that, and I don't know when it is, but I don't think it was given to us by Jack for this week's podcasts, but maybe for some upcoming ones. So for spring break, if anybody gives us a listen before they leave, what kind of advice do you have for our spring breakers?
Wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Make good choices. Safety first.
Yes.
Take care of yourselves. I mean, what are all the other parental things that we can say? And I'm saying this to the faculty, not just the students, but the faculty as well.
Don't text and drive.
That's a huge one. But if you can get our podcast playing on your phone and, get it through your audio in your car.
Yeah, catch up on everything, and yeah.
All right. So next time we will see you around March 15th. But until then,
Go to class.
Sea Devil Sessions University Transfer Edition is brought to you by CFCC's Community Relations Department. Original theme music by Nicholas Montalbano and Fermin Chavez Ramos. Audio engineering by Mitchell White and Tim Vandenberg. For questions or comments, please contact us at seadevilsessions@cfcc.edu.